What is going on, guys? Thank you for coming to the second episode of Tavern Talk. Today, we're going to talk about the haunted shores, the potential private servers for select few, and we have today. Never mind. Today, we have two guests on. Today, we have Tech and we have Ultimate J. Guys, make sure you guys say hello. Tech, where can people find you?
Hey, twitch.tv/technerd.
Hey. Jay, where can everybody find you?
At twitch.tv/ultimatej or Twitter @_ultimatej.
Tech, where can everybody find you on Twitter?
At technerd.
So is that Canadian?
That is Canadian reference, yes.
Okay, just making sure. Is it because you're close, or are you actually from?
I'm an honorary Canadian.
Honorary. I can respect that. I understand that. I'm closer to the Canadian border than I am to Molly's parents. So,
yep.
Fun fact.
The Windsor Casino has seen me many a times around 19 to 20s.
Good times. It would make sense. Hey, listen. Just saying. My Twitter handle does not match my Twitch handle. Just saying. So I just want to make everybody aware of that. Just making that fly. So today we're going to talk about the haunted shores. So first things first, I want to get everybody's take on it. Now, granted, you guys are not privy of what happens while we set up, and granted, this time was a lot easier than last time. So we were sitting around for probably a good hour. But so Tech, what do you think so far of the haunted shores and what they've added?
I think the addition of the ships and Flameheart and the quest and everything like that, I think it's fueled my my competitive side, to multiple extents. Like one, like being able just to dive right in and start shooting at ships, instead of like just sailing around looking for things, which I do like the casual side, but jumping right in and just feeling that is takes the edge off of wanting to battle and hoping that somebody comes to challenge you. That's always a fun thing to wait on. But yeah, as for that, and I think in general, I think this was just a good quality update in my opinion.
Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I really like the update. It's a lot of fun. I really like the sea battle part of a PvE. I mean, it's a lot more of a different experience than fighting skeleton ships. You can escape if you have to, but it's a lot more involved than like a tall tale.
Right. No, I agree. So then I guess like for both of you guys, what are some pros and cons to it? Because like for me, I like all the loot that's in it, but I find that it's pretty predictable. It's easy loot to get. So, Tech, what do you think?
Yeah, I can kind of agree. Like we mentioned, it's like if you get a good gist on how to position your boat and just be in the right area on where these ships are going, like you said, predictability. You can just line yourself up and just take shots all day until they're gone. So, I would say, I don't know how difficult it would be. Obviously, we don't know what was involved in creating these ships or this game in general, but like having some type of a random factor where they turn, at random intervals just so they're not like in the same path all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind like some sort of like fight or flight for them. Like if they know they're weak, like maybe they're a little bit harder to like, they teleport a lot. So you have to like try to, I don't know. Jay, what do you think? Pros and cons?
Yeah, I mean, I like the thought as well of like being able to teleport mid-fight. Like, yeah, get out of there. Like, rather than just because they're not near you. I can see people getting annoyed by that, but when I go into someone else's channel and see them fighting, I avoid trying to give them any type of
like backseat.
Backseat gaming. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, by the way, do you know they go in the same circle? Like, you can just park in front of them. Like, because we didn't know that right away when we started fighting them, right? And
no, we got bomb barrels.
More fun when we didn't know that they went in a circle.
Yeah,
like, we had to figure out how to fight them. That was more fun first. Once we figured, we were like, wait, they're just doing the same thing. Like, it just made it so much easier.
Yeah, I think for me, I love the event. I love hoarding loot, so like that's a positive for me. I love decorating the boat with a lot of loot. I think it's good for a lot of people still grinding Pyro Legend because you get the 3 main factions. But I feel as a whole, well, another thing is holy crap, storage crates. I don't know if that necessarily was meant to be, because like even though the event takes a lot of resources, specifically cannonballs and wood, I still feel like you get just too much still. I feel like we don't, like, for, if you guys didn't tune in for that one day that we had a full storage crate full of wood. I think it was, what's full? It was like 1,400 or something. It was just ridiculous amount of wood that we didn't need and ended up selling at the end. And I think that was the day that we did 6 flame hearts. And we did 6 flame hearts and 12 voyages. So we had over 60 plus storage crates on our boat, 1,400 wood, probably plus some. I feel like it's a great event. I enjoy hoarding the loot, but the predictability for me, they go in a circle. Yes, if they phase through you, you do get dealt a lot of damage to yourself, but it's it's repairable, and I think overall it's a great event. I enjoy it. Like I said, I love hoarding loot, but I think overall the idea of the predictability is like tough. I will say I love the cursed cannonballs. I like the idea that they added cursed cannonballs that are cursed, but they're just normal cannonballs. Now, granted, the fire one you can't throw like you can the fire grenade or fire bomb, but they're cannonballs. They shoot the same. They just have a ghostly effect. The wraith cannons are amazing. What do you think they should have? What I guess overall, like, what could they have added? Maybe besides like physically changing the event to like adding to like maybe make it a little bit more interesting. What do you guys think, Tech?
Oh, that's a good question. So just as far as the ships go,
Yeah, like not necessarily changing the event, but like what if there was, like what else could they have done inside the event that you think would have been a little bit interesting? And it doesn't have to be super complicated.
I mean, adding like maybe another. I'm trying to think. I mean, that's really a really good question to ask, but off the top of my head, just maybe like just some other type of a sea monster that would maybe come up and throw you off, like in certain random
Right.
spots. Like it would come up and just throw a tentacle at your ship or something in random areas of the boat zone. I don't know. That could be something.
What do you
So
think,
I'm
Jay?
thinking like those wraith cannonballs are super powerful, and if there is a way that I could get more of them, I totally would be all about it. Even if it made the encounter more difficult to do so. Like you can't, as it is now, you can't board the enemy ships, right? You just phase through them.
Mm-hmm.
But say you could get on maybe the captain's ship. There was a ladder, you were able to climb and get on it. Maybe there's nothing on it other than a crate to grab. It may or may not have wraith cannons in it, but like you have to leave your ship in order to try and find out.
That's good. Yeah.
What if they added like some sort of, because I always find in this game everything is attack. Everything is like either attacks you, or tries to kill you. What if there was like a curse cannonball that they added for this event that could protect you from the wraith cannon? Like some sort of defensive shield. Like you couldn't just, like, for example, like the wraith cannons. I think the most we've ever had on our boat at a time was like maybe 10, and that was like after 6 flame hearts. So we didn't get a ton, but like it'd be kind of cool to like just fully deck out your boat in like attack and defense. Or what if it was random? What if it was like sometimes you got wraith cannonballs, sometimes you got this defensive cannonball? I think for me, just overall, if they added, because again, to me, it wasn't super it's not a super complicated fight. It's very predictable. So I think like adding, even if they didn't even change the event, they just continued to work on it and just added more. Because again, Sea of Thieves gives us free updates every month.
Imagine if you had a skeleton from these ghost ships that could randomly spawn on your ladder, and it would just come and fight you on your ship. Like as you're chasing it, instead of them dropping barrels, maybe they drop a skeleton in the water, or somehow
Somebody's trying to tuck on your ship.
Yeah, they spawn on your ship.
I mean, it would be kind of cool if like some sort
of
of ghostly spirit was maybe you phase through one of their boats and like somehow a ghostly spirit was like on your boat when after they phase through you. I just feel like as I feel like everything is always based around team play, and I could already see like everything it's always like, well, the solo players. So like if there was a skeleton that was jumping in the water and was climbing your ladder, the solo player, while he's bailing water, trying to repair, all at the same time he's getting shot by these ghost ships, all of a sudden there's a skeleton boarding a ship. And I could already see like everybody always has like the solo defense. And again, I don't think this event is very hard for solo either. It's very predictable. I just feel like not enough people give it an opportunity to do it.
It might take a little longer, but it'll take as long as you change your plan of attack. Yeah, it's still easy.
Yeah, overall. So, as you guys heard, they're talking about integrating some custom servers. Now, granted, a lot of people see this as like, holy crap, it's going to be huge. It is. But it's only going to, if the way that it sounds it's going to be is it's only going to be for a select few. And that maybe you'll be able to purchase them in Emporium. So they talk about it. So no gold. So the ability to set up a custom server, customization of ship numbers and types prior to starting. So you can have your ship numbered so we can tell who's who. Generate a code to distribute the community members to allow them to join. So like if you're somebody that's lucky enough to get this custom server, you can have your community join. And then I think the most important is the no gold and no reputation progress from the custom service sessions. I think this is huge. I think they're definitely taking a step in the right direction for custom servers because I know the community has been asking for these forever. But do you think it's enough? Now, granted, they talked about how like obviously these servers they have to pay for. But do you think it's going to be enough for even the limited amount of people that are probably going to get these servers?
What do you mean by enough? Like it's going to be
like, I mean, let's say there's only
enough people to do it.
Yeah, like if let's say there's only 4 people that have custom servers, or is the community as a whole going to be like, okay, sweet, we got custom servers. But if only 4 people were given those custom servers, is it going to be enough to like really make people excited?
Well, I think the piloting of that is important. So yeah, I would hope that they pick the right people that are going to be getting them where it can be pushed out and shown the advantages of it for sure. And then it almost sounds like the Fortnite way of it. Like I want to say there was very few that started with that in Fortnite, and then a few more and a few more, and then it just got integrated in the game completely. So. I think it's the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I think something like that, having custom servers, they want to make sure they get it right the first time, right? So, I mean, not just so it works properly for everyone, but so that it doesn't mess up the rest of the game. If something comes out game breaking, like you can get all the commendations through custom server, or you figure out a way to start earning rep and gold, even though you're not supposed to. Like they don't want everyone having that.
Right. No, that makes sense.
And some of these content creators will be able to get enough people that I think it'll be more beneficial having to go through them rather than
just massing. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think this is huge because I know now, granted, I'm newer to this community, but as soon as I came into the community, everybody was like, do you think they're going to add custom servers? Do you think they're going to add private servers? Do you think they're going to make PvE only servers? And like, that was just like the first thing that I as soon as I started stream in this directory, it was like, so do you like PvE or PvP? You like PvP? I like PvE. Do you think they're going to add PvE servers? And now that like, they're now granted, they're never going to do that, but they're starting to listen to like, I think this is going to be huge because already there's a ton of tournaments that go on. And like, for example, Aku's tournament tomorrow, he's having to select people to help him capture a server for him for his tournament. And like
process for sure.
Yeah. And like that right there, like being able to easily just be like, listen, we're going to create a custom server. This is the code to get in. We're going to do our tournament. And, first group in, after that game, I'll send you a new code so like we can get a new server for you guys. I think that's huge. I mean, I really do think like overall, the community should be excited for this, because if there is a way for us to be able to like purchase a server, I don't know exactly how that's going to work and how much they're going to be. And like, do you eventually get an option to like look through servers you want to join? I don't know how that will eventually work, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. And obviously, so they said that. Yeah, go ahead, Tech. Go ahead, Tech.
I was gonna say, I know Apex players still, even when they're practicing or playing their matches, they have to like just all try to queue in together to get it to work. So, yeah, I think it good on Sea of Thieves to be putting it out there right now.
No, I agree. And I think overall, I think it could potentially. Now, granted, again, it's a select few, but if it does eventually go out to everyone, a lot of people that like PvE, or like, let's say, for example, just have really hard times with PvP, like you can get your like 2 boats in, you know, you and a friend, and you guys could practice your shots. And now, granted, there's a lot of hit reg issues still. Now, granted, I don't, honestly, I know they said that they worked on it again. I haven't really had much of an issue with my hit reg lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed that at all. But I think it'd be really good for PvE players to get some PvP practice.
Yeah, I've noticed some. I don't know if this is along the same lines, but I've definitely noticed, especially like hitting barrels sometimes and stuff like that. Like it'll even say it hit, but nothing happened. Like I'll hit a barrel and I'll get a marker, and nothing will happen. But then on the other hand, I'll get a shot where it doesn't say I hit, but they're dead. So yeah, I don't know if that's.
I wonder sometimes too, like for that, for example, like even specifically to the ghost ships, when they drop those bomb barrels, I don't know if it's like I'm just out of range for the hit marker, but there'll be times where I'll snipe the bomb barrels and not get a hit marker, but I'll see them explode.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Maybe
are
because they're set off, right?
No, you can shoot them.
Well, you
Yeah.
can shoot them, but they're also on a timer to be set off once they go on the end of the ship. Once they get off.
Well,
the
yeah,
ship,
there's a
right?
timer, but I'm saying like if I saw them spawn and I shoot them, that wasn't that quick of a
Gotcha.
timer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You were gonna say something, Jay?
Yeah, I think I still have seen a couple of issues when I'm shooting things in the water, mostly barrels, but lately in actual combat,
Yeah.
I think it's been a lot.
No, I agree. I have noticed a slight. Now, granted, but I have also seen a lot of laggy players, like Friday, for example.
That's true.
When I was tucked in that spot, and now, granted, too, like as with this latest update, and it's not necessarily, it's my region, right? Like I'm close to Canada, so I've been probably playing a lot of French Canadians, but I have now played more in a region that I'm not used to. Like normally I get the, you know, the normal toxic. But now I'm getting like the toxic in French, which I never had before. So I don't know if like something happened in the latest update where like maybe they extended my region. Now you get polite toxic. That's funny. So here's some things that they acknowledge within this for the custom servers. The key purpose of the custom servers is to allow creative players an opportunity to use our sandbox to create unique experiences for their communities. They are not intended to be used as a PvE server, hence the removal of the ability to earn golden rep. I feel like they should have made that in super bold. Because I can already say, why am I not getting golden rep in these servers? But now, granted, again, it's gonna be for select few, and you can only get okay. And then when they say that we are launching early and to a limited audience for multiple reasons. One, it's a very bare bones feature set, and we want to learn with a limited audience who have already demonstrated drive and creativity in our community. So it's going to go to probably to like Sea of Champions, you know, and honestly, there's probably going to be a lot of people that, like, for example, Aku, you know, is showing in this initiative, which could be in turn why he's doing it, to show initiative, to see like, so Sea of Thieves can see his tournament and say like, okay, I like this idea. Okay, your boat's dead. You're out. And then it says custom servers cost money to run, which we should all know. Starting small and learning makes sense from a business perspective. Yes, it does. Hopefully to all of you. With the above point in mind, it is likely that custom servers will eventually be optional feature that players can access from the Pirate Emporium. We want to learn about the desired feature set, usage, and cost before deciding exactly how to make something the wider community can access. That kind of, but I still stability issues. Now when this comes, how often are we going to be told? How
Resub.
often are we going to be told 1v1 me, bro? When we get these servers, dude, just create a custom server. It's gonna happen all the time. So if you guys have any questions for us, throw them in the Discord. It'd be greatly appreciated. So I know some Naptic always come in with the question. With the new announcement on the private servers and testing, what sort of community events would you like to host? Tech, would you like to host any?
Good question. Yeah, I'd be happy to be in a ZG hosted event to sync him. That's for sure.
Just a loot pinata. That would actually be pretty cool. Like a loot pinata event. That'd be kind of cool, actually. I would do that.
Yeah, I'm wondering with the new servers what they'll be able to allow. Like, you can't, like, can you get loot easily, or do I have to spend time getting all this loot to make a loot pinata boat?
You'll probably, I mean,
Can you even get the loot? Is it just not in there on a private server, or is it all like just built into the server once they load in the game?
I would bet it's like a normal server, like how, events, like world events spawn in. And like you just, I mean, now granted, what we'd probably have to do is set I wonder if there, I mean, now granted, we don't know, right? But that'd be kind of cool if like you could start a private server, have, designate somebody like while we're talking about it, getting things set up, like streaming or whatever, have one person inside this custom server just loading loading a boat up. See, I told you, honorary Canadian, dude. Loading a boat up. And then potentially like, okay, we're about to wrap up. We're going to start this tournament. I'm going to join on you. I'll have the other person join. And then now you have a loot pinata and have other people join. Or is it like one of those like one-time thing? You get a code, you get it, it only lasts for like 30 seconds. I doubt it would be that way.
Yeah, I bet you can join on people. I think the code sounds more like it's to create a new boat type of thing, right? Like if you're already on a boat, would I have to use a code to join your crew, or would you just kick me to another boat? Or
right, for sure. So CD says, what's your harshest criticism of the new update?
I already said it was really good, but yeah, I'll go with that.
I would say
repetitive and predictable.
I would say for the new update, my harshest criticism, like I'm going at the knees. I'm gonna try to go at the knees. I'm gonna try to give my harshest. CD, I got you. With still being respectful. Harshest criticism. Though the event, I have no clue how much time, how much effort, how hard it was to design that event. I think, the predictability, but I find that event is really easy. And now I guess you could argue a lot of the events are pretty easy. The Skelly Fleet, it's not hard, right? It's predictable. They spawn on you, you get some shots, you get somebody over, and you stop them from repairing. Skelly Forts, you just do wave after wave, you get to the boss, you kill the boss, you get loot. The ghost ships, Kraken, it's all predictable and easy, but I feel like, to me, there wasn't a lot of thought into how the fights would happen. The idea that these boats are just going in a circle seems kind of lazy to me. Now, granted, the most respectful way I'm saying that is just because, like, overall, it is too easy to get in front of these ships and shoot the small ones 3 times and then work on something else. That would be my harshest criticism. I think it's a little too easy to figure out what to do for the update. But overall, I love all the loot. I love how the loot looks. I love the fact that I get a ton of loot. Overall, I mean, to be honest, the update's good. The update's good. I enjoy it. It's fun. It is repetitive, but this game is really repetitive. I think overall, go ahead, Jay.
So let's say they changed it so that these ghost ships could chase you like the skeleton tip ships. Yeah, skeleton ships do. Like, do you think that would be too overpowered because there's so many of them? or would they have to add in some type of they lose interest or they do leave you alone a little bit just like because there's like they don't want to bombard you with 20 ships at one time?
Right, like have a general area where they could have a roll of the dice to gain interest, but only X amount of ships can gain interest within that perimeter. And then they'll roll the dice on when they leave interest if you're running away type of thing. And then they obviously have their perimeter where they're at that they can't go beyond either, like around that general area where they respond.
Yeah, like around the island or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like if they did aggro like skeleton ships, it would be really, really, really tough. Because there was more than 10 or there's 10 ships at a time.
Yeah.
I think for me is if more or less it just wasn't a circle always. Like I would not mind if I shot a cannon, like if I shot, I did multiple damage on the boss. Eventually it like knew it was getting weak and it just teleported. So like I would have to like predict where it was going or try to meet it on the other side of the island. It wasn't just like where I could be off its, backside where it can't have an angle on me and we can just unload on it and then it just despawns.
Right. The Flameheart can summon one and
Yeah.
he says here comes more, but why can't they once oh you're dealing too much damage, we're going to replace him or something like that, and then they just moves him somewhere else. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I love this update, but I think I wouldn't mind if they were a little bit more aggressive, like the Skelly ships, but I feel like 10 ghost ships at a time would be really hard. Yeah. If they played like the Skelly ships, and again, it would be like, but what about the solo player? And like I could see that would be tough. Like even for us, like that would be extremely hard if there was 10 ghost ships shooting at us constantly, like all at once.
Right at you.
Yeah, just like. You had no reprieve other than leaving the area in which they spawned at. But then I guess you could also I guess that could be like kind of broken, right? Like you leave that area and then you kind of just stay outside that area and just Hail Mary shots.
I was watching one of the developers, I want to say, like I think it was one of the people that are on the monthly update video on YouTube. He was streaming the game and playing it, and he said big shout out to all the people in Sea of Thieves for getting this update out and getting it stable enough. So it makes me think, like, were they having issues with stability and maybe they dumbed it down to keep the server stable because of if they added more mechanics like another Kraken in the middle or them moving away and spawning somewhere else, like not having just that that curve that's predictable, maybe that would just break the server a little bit too much. So something to think about too.
Yeah, no, I mean for sure. I know nothing about game development, absolutely nothing. So like my harshest criticism, I have to like, I could say something, and not necessarily mean it was able to be done. Like maybe that was like for them, because again they're working from home, they are limited on their resources. Like they're doing fantastic work while working from home, all separated, doing their social distancing. Now, granted, I'm sure they have great equipment at home, but that's still not the office where you could just walk down and ask a question to someone. So I mean, they're doing great work.
Sending files back and forth too.
Yeah, like I mean, they're waiting on responses from people. Probably like, for example, I have a buddy that works in an office, and like before, he would talk to a manager about a question or something going on, and now it's like you send this message to somebody and then you have to wait 20 minutes for them to see it. Like I can only imagine in that same thing, like I can't get X to work properly, can you check this out? And like 30 minutes later he finally gets back, okay, I just got was able to just see this. So like I can only imagine that it's tougher working from home away from your like normal crew.
I think that'll change though. This comes from someone that like I used to work as a developer in an office for 4 years. And then the past 2.5, I've worked remote. and everyone else in my office still works in the same office. I'm the only remote developer. And at first, it was difficult, like you're saying, to get people's attention and to learn. Like, I'm going to send you a message, and I have no way of getting your attention now that I sent you that message. So I have to just wait. But like there was a learning curve, but eventually I got to the point where I was like, I'm going to send this message. There's a good chance they're not going to see it right away. So I now have a mentality of like, I sent it. Let me just work on something else or move in a different direction first for a bit while I wait for a response. Like I just got to relearn how like my process goes.
Right.
And I like they're all probably going to be new to this right now, but they'll get used to it. Get back into the swing of things.
Sure.
And I speaking of my buddy before, I asked him, I said, so with you guys working from home now and everything working relatively smoothly, do you think like you potentially could just work from home indefinitely? Could you see, for example, Rare? Now, granted, they're able to do this, and I'm sure it's easier to work in office, and I'm sure they're going to go back to the office. But could you see like potential, and maybe some do already, some probably work at home already. I have no clue. But could you see more developers having their employees work from home indefinitely?
I think it depends on who's in charge and what their experience is. Like, if they're more like me, I think most of my developers that I work with can and should work from home more often. But my team leader does not. Like, he really does not like everyone working from home right now. He likes everyone being in a group.
It's hard to manage.
Just for him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that goes down to trust though too. Yeah, I think it'll be a big thing in the future, especially because of everything that's kind of pushed in that direction.
I will say too, like now, granted, I've worked from home. Well, a few years back, I worked in the kitchen, but I've been home for the last couple years, and like Molly is now working from home. And she's having a really hard time with like this, not this like necessarily isolation, because we do see people, but like before she would work, she'd work at in her office, and like you would see people, you'd interact with people. Like even like I think she would, now granted she does not want to go back until like it's ready. Everybody's gonna be safe and everything's gonna be good for everybody, but she does miss that camaraderie of like her office people. Like, even if it is just small talk, she does miss that, because now, granted, she hears me talking all day, but like for her, she's working on Excel spreadsheets, and she's like doing all this stuff. And like normally she'd see her, coworker working to her left or right or whatever. And like for her, she's alone in the office. And she even talks about, for me, she's like, you're lucky, because like, yeah, you can't see these people that when you're talking to them, but like you're at least having conversations with people, and I'm just, I'm alone in my office. So I could also see it like kind of, because the reason why I say this is because I bet working from home boosts productivity and reduces anxiety. But like I know Molly, like she was productive in the early on stages, but she's also kind of relaxed a little bit because she's starting to get a little bit more comfortable working at home and realizing what she can do. And sometimes it doesn't take all 8 hours. Doesn't take all 8 hours.
Yeah, tell her to join stream. We'll talk to her.
She's
Put the camera on her off.
Speaking of friends, she's out on the back patio with some friends.
Okay.
She's drinking. Probably showing
I think it does
puppy pictures.
Like when I'm when I worked in the office,
I got like 3 more pictures.
Probably.
I was always like, when I work in the office, I always had headphones on already. Like I didn't talk to people around me, right? So that mentality, like there's a lot of people like, yeah, I like being able to talk to the person on my right and left.
Mm-hmm.
I never had that. It's just like, no, if I'm trying to work, headphones on, I can't hear you.
I guess it might depend on what you do too, because like she does a lot of teaching, like she does a lot of group setting stuff specifically, and like she misses that. Now granted, she does Zoom meetings, and like she'll come to me and she'll be like, pretty sure they were all laughing at me, but I don't actually know if they were laughing at me, because they're not really looking at me, and when I think they're looking at me. And so she's like having this full anxiety thing of like, I think they're laughing, but when she was in the classroom, she could tell and keep control of people more often. When a coffee cup goes up, they actually know that there's coffee in it. And I'll call Molly out because she's done that before. It's not actually coffee in the coffee cup.
I need that extra boost.
Yeah. I mean, now granted, I don't know if any of her employees watch my stream, but she has had wine in a coffee cup before. She thinks and she even listen.
No
she
way.
even cut a tea bag like string off and taped it to the inside of her cup to make it even more believable. She was that
So elaborate.
so elaborate. I was like, babe, nobody will know. Like nobody. Why? Unless the thing with her is when she drinks wine, her lips get really red and her teeth get really red. That's the only two giveaways that somebody would have known. Unless you're drinking white wine. I don't know.
It's the third or fourth glass that people are going. Are you talking okay right now?
Yeah. Why is one eye going right
Is
and the
your
other
sugar low?
Yeah. Your right eye is going right. Your left eye is going left. I don't think you're looking at us anymore. Yeah, that's what Molly would do all the time. So Tech, I guess give people a little bit more. I mean, obviously they see you in chat all the time, but how did you find Twitch? How did you find the Sea of Thieves directory? How did you find streaming?
How did I find streaming? Okay. Well, me streaming started with I want to say, okay, so here's how it started. My wife comes into the room one day and says, "Why don't you download Fortnite and play Fortnite with the kids?" So I jumped right on it and I downloaded the game, started playing it, started having fun. Me and the kids were screwing around with it. I'm like, I wonder how to do this. I wanna crank 90s. Okay, so I go to Twitch.
Okay.
I gotta look and find the best cranker of 90s. Okay, so yep, I'm looking at crankers and I'm like, this seems pretty
Crankers.
cool. Yeah. They're cranking really hard. So I just keep on watching. Like, man, this seems kind of fun. Chill with chat and talk a little bit. So I'm like, I'm gonna try it. So I had a PlayStation. I streamed off of my computer from PS Play or whatever it is, how to connect it to the computer, and did that for a little bit. I went hard for probably 6 months and gave up for a little bit, and then now I'm back just kind of being casual, just for fun, just for friends, and growing my
Community.
Sea of Thieves friend base. Yeah,
Mhm.
not necessarily a community per se, but that'd be nice. Just kind of hanging out with people. It's fun.
So how'd you find Twitch? Was that from the Fortnite and just
Yeah,
cranking those 90s?
Yeah, so I would look at people that I'd watch, like for the high end people. I would watch them, the high on the list type of a thing. But if I wanted to ask a question about something, I would go down to the bottom of the list and get somebody who looked like they had some type of a setup going where I knew they would respond to me and not, because there would be a lot of times where I'd go in and just ask a question and they wouldn't even know anybody was in the chat. Right? They were streaming, trying to be ninja, but they didn't know anything was in the chat. So find somebody with some production quality where they can answer me, and then go from there. Try to build a relationship with them or whatever, and hang out. But and that's kind of how I landed in the ZG photo community. Was went down to the bottom, wanted to get some insight on the game, find a chill person to watch, and just kind of clicked right away. So yeah, Twitch is good for that.
Do you have? Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
How are your 90s?
How are your 90s?
What was it? My 90s? My 90s were crisp until about 3 months ago when I stopped doing them. If these old hands stop doing them for like 3 days, then it's all over. So
God, I remember playing
muscle
Fortnite.
memory and carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel. You gotta do those carpal tunnel stretches, dude.
I'm telling you.
I don't know. I have not played Fortnite. The last time I played Fortnite was when they were doing the superhero stuff, or like it was just before the meteor was hit the ground, and then they had the superhero stuff, and I started playing that, and like I felt like for me it got like too in depth, and I was like, it's way too sweaty every time I sign on. I was like, I am very competitive, don't get me wrong, but I do not want to play a tournament level sweaty every time I play. Like I found it, I loved it because it was competitive, but I also hated it because it was every time I signed on, it was competitive. Oh, hashtag always fatal, dude. I got the t-shirt in the drawer somewhere. Z prefers
A
easy
lot worse
mode.
now.
It is. It's basically like a dusting cloth now. So would you have any tips for people starting to stream and getting into streaming and looking for directories?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I would say I think you hit the nail on the head a couple times where just focus on the community more than just needing those viewers to watch you, and you know, build some type of a brand. I would say is a good way. Like not just kind of play, and just slowly add some type of a brand thing to it. Like have a Discord where people can go to and talk and communicate with them. And kind of make it like a all encompassive thing, if that's a word. And like with Z and the with Z and the points and making the sounds and all those things. I'm sure it takes a while to establish people that are going to be playing it, but um, just I feel like that's what builds a community and keeps people around where you're gonna grow well. And if that's something you want to do, you want to be a streamer, and you're not doing it just for the heck of it, just to talk to somebody in the chat or whatever, then I think that's a good way to start the community and everything for sure.
Okay, I mean I agree. Jay, what do you think? What do you have to add?
Yeah, it's streaming and communicating with everyone in chat all the time and always being responsive at doing something, not just like silent. It's a lot of work, which a lot of people don't understand.
Get used to
and
talking to yourself.
get used to
That's
talking to yourself.
super important. It is. No, that's the biggest tip that I give to anybody is like literally just read out your thoughts. Just constantly just talk about what you're thinking, even if it's just you in chat. Then people
I had a friend
people ask questions.
Friend that was starting to stream, I was trying to support him, and he's just like, I need to just get a big that big break, and then everyone will get in here. And I'm like, I don't think you're doing this right. Like you should do it because you want to just get big. You should do it because you enjoy like what's going on. You should enjoy talking to the chat. You should enjoy talking to yourself.
Yeah.
It
That
doesn't,
outlook
it shouldn't
is
matter.
bad.
20,000 people in your chat. You should just enjoy doing it for doing it.
Yeah, I will say that outlook is very bad because if you expect your big break to happen, it's probably never going to happen. Because you're gonna be streaming for a long time, waiting for that big break. And even if it does, like let's say for example somebody huge, let's say Ninja, when he was at his prime, hosted you for 600,000 viewers when he was playing with Drake. Okay, he hosted you for 600,000 viewers. Sure, tons of people are coming to your channel, but what are you gonna do to keep those people in your channel?
Can you deliver? Yeah.
Can you keep them entertained? Because already those people are going to watch you. They're gonna come over and like they just got done watching Ninja play with Drake. How the heck do you top that? So it doesn't necessarily like no big break is just like viewers. It's like networking, talking to, I mean, it's just there's levels of Twitch that people like look. They only look at the surface. Like people think they look at Ninja and he's like, oh man, he got lucky. Ninja's been streaming in general for like 8 years, 9 years. Yeah, he's been streaming on Twitch for a long time, and I thought I was streaming on Twitch for a long time.
And all he does is just stream for 13 hours, and that's how he got big. And they don't see any of the work he put into any other aspect of his brand,
Yeah, they found him when he was big. They don't realize what he was doing when he was streaming to 200 viewers, And like, but they know him as Ninja. They don't know him as Hyper Ninja. Before he changed his name to Ninja.
Yeah.
So yeah, that outlook is really bad already. Unfortunately, he started when it was Justin TV. Yeah, same with Summit. Summit's the same way. So kind of going back to Sea of Thieves here. So kind of looking at like their gameplay improvements. choosing a shanty, nonverbal communication, nonverbal radical keybinds. I will say, did they add? I think we talked about this in stream, but when did they add the ability to be able to like translate? Is that new?
I think that's new. I don't know if that wasn't this month, right? When did we run into that?
That was before the Ghost update.
I think it was new with the emissaries. I think maybe after that.
Because I guess like I don't know if it might have been in the patch notes, but I just didn't see it. So it was kind of like a shocker, which is I think it's pretty cool. Even though
I still know what
sometimes
triggers it though. Because like I just ran into someone the other day when I was like, yeah, they're speaking French. They're French Canadian or something. But it didn't say anything on my screen. It didn't translate it. I just could hear them.
I wonder if it's like Xbox or PC, or like if it's got to be one or the other. I don't know if that would matter though.
Or maybe if they have to have it up.
Maybe. Well, because didn't we have it where when we were fighting those guys that we saw, they were speaking English. I don't know. Maybe like they were maybe they had it on too, so they could understand what we were saying. Maybe. So choosing a shanty, improved nonverbal communication, nonverbal radical keybinds, which aren't they addressing to like make it so it doesn't spam or something like that?
I hope so. Really hope so.
Cannonball reticle. I like the cannonball reticle change. I do find though, like before, you could just keep reloading even if it was a chain shot or a blunder bomb or a fire grenade. But now you have to like you use all your 10 cannonballs. You have to physically select your next one you want to shoot. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. And then it says harpoon retraction. That's nice. Shoots a lot. You miss something, it retracts quickly. And then barrel inventory mouse navigation. When using keyboard and mouse, opening a barrel inventory will now reset the mouse cursor to the center of the screen.
Wait,
I haven't noticed that.
Was that this?
Yeah. Gameplay improvements. On to chores.
No, I haven't noticed that either. I may have known that as something that's not
not what it was.
Whoops.
But yeah,
can we talk about the new reticle too at some point, or the new wheel at some point too? Because we can rant on that for a little bit.
Well, could start her off.
Pain in the ass.
I don't like getting
like again we talk about it's gonna be muscle memory and it'll become second nature in no time, but it's not happening to me. It's not computing to this dad brain here. So everybody's still trying to communicate over the chat thing, trying to get to their other wheel, and man, it's tough for me to get used to for sure.
Yeah, I will say it is kind of awkward to like when we put the voyage down for the ghost ships, and then I end up having to like hit Q and then space to try to get the voyage.
Yeah, exactly.
That's super awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it probably is. You're right. It's probably muscle memory, but
what do you think comes into play more? Like if you don't use your mic and you can't type, do you think it's more important to get to your voyages, or is it more important to communicate to the people around you?
Well, I mean, because now granted, I love seeing spammed. I need help. When we're coming up to a ship, I love seeing spammed. I need help. So like, I feel like it depends, because I am in a bad habit of what is it? Now I'm gonna try to remember without actually playing right now. Is it E? What brings up the last thing that you had out?
Z?
X?
X?
Yeah, it's X. And like I'm terrible at that, because I don't have to hit Q and then space and then pull the voyage back out. I could hit X to pull the voyage out, but I'm in such a bad habit of doing just like pulling the, I mean, I feel like honestly, probably chatter's really important. If you're solo, let's say, and you're doing PvE stuff, that X would probably, I mean, Xbox, I don't know what it's at for controller, but that'll probably work pretty well. And then you just spam E to say, I need help, I need help, I need help. Let's alliance, let's alliance, let's alliance. I'm friendly, I'm friendly.
Take up their screen to text and they can't fight you.
Yeah, basically. No, I will say the reticle, it's probably muscle memory, but I do say it seems clunky too. It does seem clunky.
Me trying to change my shanty too. I'm trying to get used to that.
Yeah, the
It's
shanty
cool.
one.
Yeah.
I like the shanty. I just don't know the names of the shanties yet. So I end up always playing the old ones still. Because I don't know that it's like the shark, the Megalodon shanty or whatever it is. And I didn't know that was like an original one. I don't know the names yet. Okay, so this is an update. So expanded the emissary ledgers. The ledgers for Gold Hoarders, Order Souls, Merchant, Athena's, and the Reaper Bones now have expanded views in the reputation page, with the ledgers overview now showing the required emissary value to reach each tier and access to the other rewards. I don't spend much time in that ledger page since this update, so I haven't noticed the changes. So like, what is changed? Is there like a bar underneath the ledger to see what I have to get to the next one, or what is it? Yeah, I know you've looked at it, haven't you?
I think it's a little more clear of
Like
whether
numbers?
or not you've like how far you are into the like getting the top 25%, like top 50, top 25. How much more you need to get to the next one. It's just a little bit more clear. As well as I do think this is nice. You can see where you're at compared to your friends. You can see where your friends are ranked.
Oh, can you really? Okay, that's cool. I haven't noticed it enough. I've never gone in it since we basically will probably be top tier every time anyway, with the amount of time we play and the amount of loot that we get. So I just never pay attention, and with it being the same sales.
The last time I looked at it, it was like I was like, oh, this is cool. I can see how everyone's ranked. Look, Z's one above me and Jor's one above him. So we always sail together, obviously.
Right. So I'm gonna butcher it. Is Liga says those are customizable at rebound voyages to E and quick chat to G. What's it like on controller though? Because I feel like that's a lot of pages to get into voyages. Like for us, it's like, you know, E and then space to get to the voyage. It's probably the same thing for controller. Can you rebind controllers?
I think so.
Can you?
If it's
like a scuff or something?
A custom controller, yeah.
The D-pad, the arrows on the bottom left. I know you can.
What? There's arrows on the bottom left of the controller?
Yeah.
I'm joking. Come on, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's arrows.
I don't know if you use controller. You're a PlayStation guy anyway, right?
Yeah, there's a D-pad.
But that isn't the same. I don't know. PlayStation
D-pads are D-pads, Jay.
D-pad. At least two of those you can customize. I know that. Because I used to play
without a custom controller.
Without a custom controller, yeah.
Huh. Okay. So then maybe somebody can, like, if you want to push the down arrow to get to your voyages, you don't have to like go through multiple pages to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
The ledger view you were talking about, switching to friends so you can see your friends. Emissary balancing. So the Gold Hoarder skulls will no longer award the Reaper Bones or Order of Souls reputation and contribute towards the company's respective ledger. Gold Hoarder skull? Oh,
or
like the tall tale? Okay.
Worth 10,000.
Right. I can't. So somebody brought this up earlier, like last week or the week before. Can you just farm that skull?
No. That checkpoint, the last checkpoint, is right before the fight. So you can attempt, like you kind of can, just do the fight, get the skull, put it on your ship, reload the checkpoint. You can do that.
But you would have to, and then you could just farm that. But then how do you get back in? Is the door open?
The checkpoint will give you the key to get into the lair. So you'd still have to go through the jumping puzzle and everything too.
Okay. So you'd have to. So you could still farm it, but it would take you a while because you'd have to go through the jumping puzzle every time. Yeah. I feel like that's not worth.
Yeah.
Text size for all crew join and leave toast notification have been increased to improve accessibility. Interaction audio, which this just reminds me of the water audio still needs to be addressed because that is loud still. Opening a crate now makes a different sound to barrel opening. I never noticed. I have not noticed that. I haven't paid attention.
There's not that many crates you can open, right?
Like a wood crate? Like a storage crate?
I was thinking like, what does it say? It says barrels and crates.
It says opening a crate now makes a different sound to opening a barrel.
I was just thinking like every shipwright that like at every outpost, there's barrels and there's like
a crate up top.
Box.
Yeah, okay.
Those were the crates I was thinking of. I don't know if it's what it's referring to or not.
All right, and then they said fix some issues. To improve quality of service, Sea of Thieves servers have been activated in the regions of East and Southeast Asia and Japan. So did they extend new regions?
Maybe.
So were there not servers in East and Southeast Asia and then Japan? Probably, if that's what that means. There's Sea of Thieves servers have been activated in these regions.
I wonder what the player base is like there right now.
Right. When attempting to log in the game following an error, the response time has now been improved. Attempting to log in the game following an error. I guess I haven't really noticed it much. George should let us know how that is.
Oh, my game crashed again.
I know. I know. So gameplay. Shooting any ship with a chain shot will now inflict predictable damage holes on the outside of the ship.
What did it do before?
I thought it just did tier 1 holes. I thought chain shots just did tier 1 holes against the boat.
My chain shots
predictable mean these.
Listen to this guy, dude.
They fly right through, right?
I just never miss.
Does it mean it's going to be tier 3 no matter what now? Because does that mean predictable or?
I don't know. Shooting any ship with the chain shot will now inflict predictable damage holes on the outside of the ship. Because I just remember before,
two holes and a line in the middle.
Yeah, right. That'd be really funny, actually. Because last time I had that happen is somebody would hit us a chain shot, we'd get a tier 1. I don't remember if it not being predictable. Maybe they mean like before, like you had to get a hit marker on, the mast, it wouldn't actually drop.
That happens still.
That does happen. So trading companies on board. Trading companies onboarding will now start for new pirates without having to leave a session and start a new one. Trading company onboarding will now start for new pirates without having to leave a session and start a new one.
All right, I'm assuming this is new pirate stuff.
Yeah. The Servant of the Flame at the Reaper's hideout will now allow players to interact with them and sell items when standing at any angle. So I'm assuming we couldn't do that before. We had to stand right in front of her or him.
Probably a lot like the
water bucket.
That was bad.
That screwed us a lot. That was so frustrating. But honestly, even standing in front of it, it wouldn't register.
Yeah. We had our whole team just trying to bucket water out of it.
Yeah. I'm standing on the right. I'm standing in the middle. I'm still not getting any water. In the Pirate Legend hideout, swimming into the rudder of the back of the Athena Fortune Tavern and getting stuck will spawn you in the Pirate Legend hideout.
So
somebody found that.
I had someone point this out to me. I forget who it was. It was in someone else's stream. Apparently the galleon that's in the Pirate Legend lair has been slowly sinking every update. It's just a little bit lower every time.
I don't go in there enough.
I never really look at it enough to know that it's sinking. I don't see what level it's at. It's just apparently it's slowly going down.
Well, we'll have to
one plank every time.
Yeah, we'll have to before the next update look at it, and then screenshot it, and then when the update drops, look at it again. and see if it actually changed.
Hmm.
Interesting. They do like to sneak that stuff in though. Killing a player at the earliest point of vulnerability after revival and then reviving them again will no longer cause their camera to get stuck. Interesting.
Yeah, I wonder how many of these I've just never experienced.
Yeah, I just never experienced any of these. During the maiden voyage, eating a banana. Nope, we're not maiden voyagers anymore, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I
Never
guess.
done that.
In the Pirate Legend hideout, swimming into the rudder. We read that. After an arena contest, interacting with the ship's wheel, cannons, and ladder prior to migration will now correctly detach players and preventing them from becoming stuck. So you'd become like you load into a match and get stuck.
It was after a game ended. This was for like a month. If after the game ended, if you grabbed the wheel that's in the Pirate Legend area, you would just get stuck to it until you merge servers.
Oh, so you would be stuck there the entire waiting lobby, like waiting for game. Yeah, that's rough. I wonder how many suckers were like, yeah, just grab the wheel. When receiving an invite notification through Steam, an alert can be heard in game. When wielding and using a fishing rod, player animations are now improved. Don't fish. Combat. So this is a good one. Improvements have been made to hit reg when shooting a player who are using a static interaction points around the world, e.g., ladders, cannons on islands, docks, and sea dog delivery ships in the arena. So it's still water, still an issue. Everything that's static, players can hit well. So like now that means so if we're on an island, I'm assuming if we're on an island fighting someone, hit reg will be fine. But as soon as we're on our boat and they're on the island, it's going to be tough. Which is already tough. So you have to deal with hit reg and waves.
That makes sense.
When engaging in sword combat, attacking a player and landing the first hit will now prevent the rival player from retaliating, ensuring they are unable to attack through a 3-hit combo. I feel like that still happens.
Definitely.
That still happens.
I've noticed. I read that and was like, finally, I can't. Like, I get so annoyed in a sword fight where I'll get the first hit and they just like, I don't care, and then they hit me next, and I'm the one stunned. I'm like, wait, how am I being penalized for getting the first hit?
Yeah, they can suffer through it, but I can't. I'm immobilized for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've definitely still experienced that. I've had where like I'm like we're just head to head. I swing first, he swings, and I'm stunned, and I have to like panic block to try to block because it just didn't work. No, that's definitely still I feel an issue. I wonder if it's gonna be in like we still know about these issues. It might not work. Players are prevented from switching between throwables while throwing to bypass inventory limits.
Wait, what?
Wait a minute. So players could get extra throwables by acting like going to throw it and then switching to a weapon.
I don't know if
players are prevented from switching between throwables while throwing to bypass inventory limits.
Oh, the delay, I'm assuming, to pull something out. So it's like the pickup of the chest type of a thing.
Well, I feel, but it's messing with inventory limits though.
It's just inventory limits. I don't think it's creating anything. I'm assuming it's someone like if you start to throw something, it removes it from your inventory to limit, like you
threw it. Yeah.
But you're holding it back, and you can probably take like if someone offers you another one, you can take.
So you technically have
throw it. You get 6.
So yeah, that's what I was thinking. So you have like 6 throwables. Yeah. There's so many things that like I just didn't know that were broken in this game. Like I had no clue that was a thing.
That's creative though.
That is creative. Those are the people that need to be working for like Rare and stuff to like find those bugs, because there's people that do that. Like they just look. Tall Tales, Shroudbreaker, players will be awarded the appropriate accommodation. Steam platform. Known issues, range and melee weapons, hit detection. In areas of intense action, players may find themselves firing shots or landing strikes and that do not cause damage to their targets. While improvements continue to be delivered during our content updates, this continues to be a key priority for the team. Well, we definitely know that the sword issue is still a thing. Stuck UI. I'm pretty sure I just saw. What's his name? CJ. I'm pretty sure I just saw him post on Twitter a video of him getting rared, where he was in the middle of a fight and his menu was up the entire time. His escape menu was up the entire time. So that's known issue. Obviously, definitely can see it happening, and it's happened to us too. I think the only way to get out of it is just by spamming. I don't know. I don't remember how we got out of it.
I didn't know what I did, but yeah, I was just spamming random things when it happened to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think overall the hit detection thing will be a constant. There's not many. To me, this is the first game that I've ever had where hit detection and now granted, like people say like, well, Call of Duty. Yeah, like I get that. But Call of Duty, when I got hit markers, I dealt damage. There'd be obviously times where you'd shoot and you'd be like, how did I miss? But this game, it rewards you a hit marker, but gives you a hit marker, but rewards you 0 damage. And this is the first game I've ever played that's had that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So Chad, if you guys have any questions for us, if you would like to ask us questions in the Discord, or if you would like to ask us in chat, we're probably gonna be wrapping it up here momentarily. So if you have any questions about Sea of Thieves, want our takes, want us to kind of give you our opinions on anything about Sea of Thieves, now is the time. If you want to ask in the Discord, you can ask there. There's a Tavern Talk question section. If you want to just ask in chat, you guys are more than welcome to. Again, we have Tech on, Jay on. Make sure we get a wall shout outs for both of them. Again, Tech, where can everybody find you?
Twitter at TechNerdAEH and twitch.tv/TechNerdA.
What about you, Jay?
For me, you can find me at twitch.tv/UltimateJ and Twitter at _UltimateJ.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read this. I'm gonna read this one just because it's the last question inside the Discord. It says, "What's Tech's favorite pastime when he's away from the games?" Hey, Matt.
Good question. Favorite pastime? Oof. So besides my loving wife and kids, it's
they must be right around the corner.
Yeah, they can see a little foot right around there. Yeah. I would say, it's a good question. I have a couple of things that I used to like to do. I was very into RC cars, like gas and electric remote control vehicles. And I would say more recently, I do really like to golf. Golf is very fun for me. I like that. Thanks for asking.
Jay, what's your favorite pastime?
For about
Away
a
from the
decade
games.
now, Ultimate Frisbee, which is where the ultimate name it comes from
No
in my
way.
name. It's why there's frisbees on my wall.
I don't believe it.
Those are plates.
Everything going on. It's just something I can't do for a while.
Do you have a lot of you play a lot of disc golf, right? Or did you
I did in college, but
you don't as much? Okay. I was gonna say, do you have a lot of like disc golf courses around you?
I don't know of any around me, actually. I had quite a few around me in Michigan, but not anymore.
Yeah, I guess my favorite pastimes would be I don't know, I'd be like photography. Photography's a big pastime, but it's tough because like I'm very particular with what I want to take pictures of. It's either cars or, I mean, I'm okay. Like I like nature, but I'm like a big product guy, so I like taking pictures of just like cars or like I'm trying to do with King's Coast #ad #affiliate. Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, CD that'd be photography, gaming. It's always gaming, dude. I'm just a gamer, dude. There is no other pastime. I don't know. It's hard. Drinking. I don't know. Those are my pastimes.
Jay, were you a collegiate player? Is that
for Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a collegiate player for 5 years, and now I've been a club player for 7 years
Wow,
post college.
nice.
Well, in and post college.
How'd you get into it? If you don't mind me taking over the podcast here.
Thanks, guys, for watching. I
Frisbee.
appreciate it.
I got into it in like middle school. Is just pick up in my area with friends, but it wasn't until college that I started playing competitively.
Nice.
Is there anything else, Tech? God, just take over.
So
I'm just
ZG, we're gonna.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have any more questions, make sure you guys throw them in the Discord. Otherwise, I think this might wrap it up for our episode 2 of Tavern Talk. We like to have an episode every 2 weeks, just after an update and just before an update, so we can kind of give our takes on what we hope is coming to the future updates and what we think of current updates, and give our opinions and our thoughts, and like to have your interaction on what you guys think as well. Again, Tech, Jay, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Chat, enjoy your weekend again. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, this is episode 2. Next episode will probably be in 2 weeks, Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Guys, again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. And I'm gonna give you
Thanks,
mine
guys.
because I have not created one yet. And boop. Thank you guys for watching.